I tested a bunch of free rent pricing tools and I found the four best ones that are not only free, but shockingly accurate. As you know, when you price your rental too high, nobody wants it and it just sits vacant. Too low and it will rent fast, but you end up leaving thousands of dollars on the table. But what if I told you that you could get an accurate rent estimate in just minutes completely free? In this video, I'll walk you through my exact strategy step by step for pricing all of my rentals using these four free rent pricing tools. I've been investing in rental properties for the past 14 years, currently own just under 200 rental units, and my team and I have priced and rented out each of them multiple times. I've tried and tested out numerous price setting strategies, and I can confidently tell you that what you learn in this video works every single time. But here's the thing, while most landlords don't know about these tools, even those who do make a huge mistake by simply relying on them alone. There's one additional crucial step that I believe you need to take after you get the rent estimate from these tools to truly set the right rent price for your unit. And to prove it works, I'll show you a real life example of a rental I just priced using these exact tools and how they predicted my rent within $30 of what the unit actually rented for. Let's dive in. The first two websites on this list are similar in function and output, so I will cover them quickly so we can get to the real meat and potatoes of how to find the perfect rent price. So the first one is Rentometer.com. This one's been around forever and for good reason. It's simple, fast, and surprisingly accurate. Rentometer was built with the sole purpose of collecting rental data and providing rental estimates based on the information you put into it. Now, it has a free rent estimate feature, and that's what we'll focus on. But it does also have a paid version, which provides a lot more information and data. But as you will see in a minute, you can get the exact same report from another completely free source on this list. So there's really no need to pay money for a full Rentometer report. All right, so what you do is go to Quick View on Rentometer's website and enter your property's address, the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and the type of property that it is. Click Submit, and it spits out a one-page report with this handy gauge showing how your proposed rent stacks up against the low, average, and high rents in your area. It even gives you a map showing where those comps are and how they compare. Sounds great, right? Not bad. But there's a catch. Rentometer's free version doesn't tell you exactly which rent comps it used to calculate this estimate. You can't click on a comp and see photos, features, or the exact locations. And that means that if you rely solely on this, you could be basing your rent price on an incomplete or incompatible information. That's why it's important to cross-check with multiple tools like the next one on this list. TurboTenant works a lot like Rentometer, and it may even use all of the same data. You enter your address, number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and property type. It does make you enter your email address to see the results, but that's not a big deal. You don't actually have to sign up for anything, and you can always just unsubscribe from their emails later on. TurboTenant pulls a rent range just like Rentometer, and in my testing, they often use the same comps. Still, I think it's worth it to take a minute and cross-check the output from TurboTenant against Rentometer. The one downside with TurboTenant is that it doesn't give you a map. You see the estimated range, but you don't see where those comps are in relation to your property. Regardless, it only takes a few minutes to check both of these sites, and now you're already in a much better position than you were at the start. You don't have to guess anymore. You now actually have a solid starting point. Now, this next tool is where it really gets good. Hemlane.com is actually a full-service property management solution offering everything from apartment listings to tenant screening to maintenance tracking and accounting. Of course, most of these services are fee-based, and if it is something that you're interested in, you can check out Hemlane.com at the affiliate link in the description below. But aside from those other services, its rent calculator tool is free and is absolutely awesome. Now, it does ask for more details than the other two sites I mentioned. You'll have to enter your name, email, phone number, and also your role as a landlord or a property manager. But in exchange, it gives you a goldmine of data. It gives you a full multi-page report with historical trends, rent distributions, and even the actual comps it used. That's right. Unlike Rentometer and TurboTenant, Hemlane actually gives you the full addresses of the comps, their distance to your rental, their square footage, rent price, when they were last listed, and more for free. This is huge because now instead of blindly trusting a rent range, you can actually dig into the details and compare each comp to your unit. So this is very good, but there's still one more tool that I want to share with you to complete this picture. Apartments.com is another platform that offers a full-service property management solution. Unlike Hemlane, most of its property management services are free. By the way, if you would like to see me do a breakdown on how some of the most popular property management sites compare to each other, please comment under this video and let me know. If I get some interest, I'll be happy to make a video on it. Anyway, back to the rent topic. Apartments.com is a bit different in what it wants you to do to get the rent estimate. You actually have to create a login and add your property before it will give you a rent report. But it is worth the extra effort, in my opinion. Apartments.com actually pulls from a completely different database, meaning you get a second set of comps to cross-check your price. And this report doesn't just show rent ranges. Just like Hemlane's report, it also includes comps with addresses. It also includes cover photos, prices per square foot, distance to your rental, walk score, and similar information. So if you want to make sure that you're using real data, these 4 tools together will give you a very good idea of where you need to be. With that said, there's still one more crucial step that most landlords who pull these reports ignore. They just take the rent estimates that they receive in these free reports, slap the suggested price on their listings, and call it a day. I think this is a mistake. If you look carefully at the reports, you'll see that the dollar amount that is recommended is an average or a median of all the comps. Sure, the more comps there are and the more average your rental is, the more likely it is that the median price will work for your listing. But it still does not take into account the numerous other factors that can affect the rent price for your listing as compared to the other listings in your area. The real key to setting the perfect rent price is taking a few minutes to look at the actual comparable listings that these tools use to give you their results. The goal is to find comps within these data sets that are most similar to your rental in 5 key areas. They are, first, location. The closer the comp is, the better. Ideally, you want comps from the same block or within a few blocks of your rental property. A rental in a suburban neighborhood across town is going to price differently than a rental in a dense urban area. So you need to make sure you're comparing apples to apples. Second, the size and type of the property. Sure, you want the same number of bedrooms and bathrooms, but you also need to look for similar square footage and property type. If your 3-bedroom rental is inside a 4-unit apartment building with street parking only, but the comparable 3-bedroom is in a detached single-family house with a backyard and a driveway, that is not a similar property type. The 3-bedroom single-family house will probably rent for much more because it is more desirable for the types of tenants who are drawn to 3-bedroom units. Third, amenities. Does your unit include off-street parking, washer and dryer, utilities, space to entertain, and so on? Do the comps provided in the reports have similar amenities too? All of these features can make a big difference in price. Fourth, condition. Is your unit fully renovated? Does it have the little extra features that tenants like? Granite countertops, stainless appliances, luxury vinyl flooring, and the like. What is the condition of those comps? Do they look the same? 2 units can have identical features, size, and be in the same property type, but if one is completely updated while the other one hasn't been touched in 15 years, this will be reflected in the price. What is the best way to tell? Look at the same thing that your applicants will be looking at. How does your unit look in photos compared to the rental comps in the reports? Check them out and pick out the ones that most closely resemble yours. Fifth, restrictions or special conditions. Some rentals allow pets, some don't. Some are furnished, some are not. Some want tenants to sign for a minimum of 1 year, while others are month-to-month or short-term or mid-term rentals. All of these things will make a difference in determining price. Check the descriptions of the other apartment listings to see how they compare in this category to yours. As I already told you, this step is very important. Don't get lazy. Take a few minutes to fine-tune your price by finding the real comparables. Your goal is to charge the most rent your market will allow as quickly as possible. If you don't fine-tune your rent price, you could be leaving money on the table or struggling to find tenants. All right, so as promised, now let's put all of this together with a real-world example. To show how accurate these pricing strategies are, let's look at a rental my team and I recently priced in Cohoes, New York. It is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment with about 900 square feet of living space. Here are some images of what this unit looks like. As you can see, it is certainly not luxury living. It went through a basic turnover, painting, cleaning, etc. It has black appliances, Formica countertops, carpet in the bedrooms, a basic tub surround in the bathroom and linoleum flooring. It is clean and in good shape, but nothing extravagant. There is a backyard and a deck, and utilities are paid by the tenants. So I ran this property through all 4 tools: Rentometer, TurboTenant, Hemlane, and Apartments.com, and they all landed in the same general estimated rent range. Specifically, aggregating all of the reports, the low end for 2-bed, 1-bath units in the area was $750 per month, and the high end was $1,950 per month. You can see that Rentometer, TurboTenant, and Hemlane all had similar high and low ranges, and Apartments.com had slightly higher ranges. The median and average rent price was approximately in the $1,270 to $1,290 per month range. Once I had those suggested numbers in mind, I went through the comps in the Hemlane and the Apartments.com reports. I picked these 4 that were the most similar to my rental in each of the 5 criteria I mentioned. One thing that I should also mention is that since the comps in both reports were not clickable links, I did have to take the added step of copying and pasting the addresses into Google and finding the details on each comp that way. This is one thing that I wish these sites would add, as it would make using these reports a lot easier. But regardless, it didn't take me long to nail down exactly which comps were the closest. Here are the 4 comps that I considered. All of them are 2-bedroom, 1-bath units around the same square footage as my rental, and all are located in multifamily houses just like mine is. And they are also all in very close proximity to mine. 94 Congress Street. This unit rented for $1,200 per month. As you can see from the photos, it's a little bit more dated looking than my rental. The floors are a variety of different materials. Some are better looking than others. Cabinets are oak color. Appliances are white. It doesn't look particularly clean, so I would say this is an inferior comp to mine. Next up is 314 Saratoga Street. This unit also rented for $1,200 per month. This one has some nice hardwood floors and stainless steel appliances, but it also has an outdated color scheme with the yellows and the oak colors. It definitely looks clean and neat. I could say that this is on par with, or maybe even slightly better than mine, depending on how you look at it. Next up is 94 Bridge Avenue. This unit rented for $1,300 per month. It is neater than the first one, but definitely not as nice as the second one, and yet it rented for $100 more. It does have carpets, which is comparable to mine, but the appliances are white. Bathroom has an acrylic tub surround like mine does, but doesn't look as updated. I would say that mine is probably superior to this particular comp. The last one is 241 Saratoga Street. It rented for $1,400 per month. I think this is superior to all of the other comps. You can see that it has a nice and more modern color scheme. White kitchen cabinets, stainless steel appliances, new countertops, vinyl plank floors. I would definitely say that this apartment is superior to mine as well. Synthesizing these 4 comps together, I think that the second one was probably underpriced at $1,200 per month. It probably could have rented for more. I think that the $1,300 per month one is a little bit worse than mine, or right around equal. So my conclusion was that $1,300 per month was probably reasonable. And I was right. The unit rented quickly. I think based on the comparables and the information provided in the rent estimate reports, this was the most that my unit could rent for in its current condition in the current market. And the cool thing is that $1,300 was just a few dollars off the prices suggested by the websites I mentioned. So let's recap. We covered 4 rent estimate tools, how to refine the comps, and I showed you a real-world example of how it all comes together. If you follow these steps, you'll never have to guess your rent price again. Try these tools for yourself and drop a comment under this video to let me know how you did. And if you're looking for an inexpensive DIY solution to creating a state-compliant and customized lease, check out this video for a review of one of the best and least expensive options out there right now. Tap or click the screen, and I'll see you there.